The funny thing is we're very close to the summertime season, and they, being the Daily Wire, have teased that this is going to be a summertime release. So you'd think because we're inching closer to that season, whenever it might be, I don't think they give it a specific release date, that we'd be getting a full-length trailer. But we've got a 30-second one. Maybe they're like, well, there's so many Gina Carano fans out there that we don't need to put out a long trailer, and then maybe we can just keep a lot of the footage back for, I guess, optimum surprise when the trailer or when the film debuts. But I am very excited that Terror on the Prairie is getting some momentum. And not only so far, I think the Daily Wire has done pretty well with their overall movie lineup. I think Shut-In was excellent in terms of like their movie exclusives. The Hyperions, good acting, and parts of it I think were interesting. I don't think it was the best. It was my favorite film overall from them. I think Shut-In was much better. I know people have still said Run, Hide, Fight is great. I haven't hopped on Daily Wire yet. I got to. It's a financial thing. But at the moment, I'm really going to try to improve that situation however I can, because I need to be able to watch this or Terror on the Prairie. Although I would imagine the way that they've released the past couple movies, this is going to be debuting. Again, this is my estimation. I don't know for sure. But the Hyperions and Shut-In both got a YouTube early premiere. Maybe, again, just to bring people in. And I think that really helped Shut-In in terms of like public reception. And some critical even too. I would imagine the same treatment's going to happen with Terror on the Prairie. Partly because Gina Carano has a large fan base that's on YouTube, specifically, including myself. I mean, I've made that no secret at all. I'm still very miffed about how Disney, Disney too, but how Lucasfilm treated her. Yes, I mean, I'm a big Cara Dune fan, obviously, and I really miss her on Star Wars. I know I'm missing her going forward. I mean, it's not been the same without her. But I'm very excited to see again that someone took a stand for her amid ridiculous complaints on social media, largely. I mean, I think most of us would agree on that. It just got way out of control and way out of proportion. But I think the majority of the fan base probably just based on the way it went about this week, I just saw some footage leak out from MegaCon that she made an appearance there. And apparently, according to some videos that I saw, she had the longest line of everybody in the celebrity panel. Isn't a surprise, number one, it's Florida. But at the very least, I'm like, okay, I can clearly imagine that. But it seems that the force really is with her, and maybe a lot of those people who feel, cheated out by Lucasfilm and perhaps some of the sensibilities going on there. We're casting our sorrows with the Daily Wire, and I'm more than happy to be able to support their work. I loved the first trailer for this. I know it's going to be more of a hardcore violent Western, and we'll see how far it gets, but I'm really looking forward overall to seeing I'm sure, very strong film led by Gina Carano, who I think is a fabulous actress. I love watching her. And I'm really just excited to support her in any way that I can. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this really short trailer first. Again, I have mixed feelings on that. Maybe they're like, again, like I said, maybe they're waiting to, until the movie debut. They're like, we're not going to show too much, or they're going to have something come out. Maybe this will announce release date, because again, I don't know if that's been determined specifically yet from a public standpoint. But we're going to go ahead and watch this first. I'm sure we'll discuss it more after. But a 30-second trailer for Terror on the Prairie. I mean, we had that backstage teaser, and then we had the teaser trailer. So at least we've had something a little more substantial. But this is really short. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this. Hang on. Okay.
Here's a trailer for my new movie, Terror on the Prairie.
I mean, it's a beautifully filmed Western. Very gritty, hardcore picture.
You move.
And I haven't seen many films that have been filmed out in Montana. So that's...
What do you want?
Maybe they'll utilize that location a lot more, because it's just beautiful here. I'm excited, but no release date yet. So again, I'm like, I don't know. They're probably going to release a trailer. I mean, they did for Shut-In. They did for the Hyperions. Although the Hyperions only got one trailer. Maybe, I don't know, because that was, I believe, an acquired release from Saban Films, I think. I might have that wrong, but maybe it was advertised previously. I just didn't catch wind of when the first trailer debuted before the Daily Wire picked it up as their own exclusive. I don't know. I'm still kind of like, I want never trailer to be able to, recognize it. Part of me, gets the idea again of maybe keeping a lot of stuff back. Maybe like, we're just going to hold on. The Gina Carano fans are obviously going to rally. We need not prove, but maybe for someone out there, like, I need to have more feeling on their Western. As I said with the Daily Wire, again, I think generally it's been good, but I know the receival to the Hyperions wasn't as strong. I think this film is going to be way better. But maybe that's partly because, again, that was produced by Saban. And some of their films have looked good, but I'm generally familiar with their work. And some projects have a bit of a mix. I mean, they're a bit of a staple when it comes to Roku in particular. and maybe some other studios as well, but the Roku platform carries a lot of their work. So maybe it's just the vision overall with that movie that that was what it was at the time, but maybe it just wasn't as strong a release for many people. I think, again, parts of it were really good. But I think definitely between the films that I've seen, Shut In was a much better realized picture. So really set the bar high for the Daily Wire. I'm excited, though, for the Terror on the Prairie. I mean, it just looks good. And again, it's like a hardcore version of The Mandalorian by comparison. This is where Disney couldn't go. I mean, it's funny for me to consider being like, this is another Western. Like, Mandalorian was Western inspired. Like, the connections. Interesting. But it looks good. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to support it either way. I hope you are too. For those of us who are, I'm sure, maybe you're a Gina Carano fan. Maybe you're not necessarily the most involved in the situation, or you're not most knowledgeable, and you're just kind of looking at it from the basis of, what is Terror on the Prairie? Maybe a good Western. Feel free to let me know where you're coming from down below. But I think this looks good. I'm very excited to see the Daily Wire's work in the future, not just with Terror on the Prairie, but more films to come. Because of Shut In especially, but even the Hyperion to some degree, and I was sure many would be saying Run, Hide, Fight, and probably eventually Terror on the Prairie. If they've shined a light on anything, it's a Daily Wire. It's a pretty good competition for Hollywood fare that isn't necessarily glamorized by Hollywood, or maybe they're a good competitor in that they can encompass perhaps voices that are lost within the Hollywood world, sort of like, Gina was ejected from it, and quite cruelly, in my opinion. But it's nice to see the Daily Wire support people, not just, in placement of, we'll give you some work if you want it, but to truly create pictures that might be memorable, right? And serviceable to not only their careers, but just their overall prominence, and really bring, people that have been lost in the scuffle into the forefront like Gina's. Although I think, Gina at this point has amassed such a large following, understandably, and fittingly, she deserves it, that I think we're definitely going to be creating a very strong impression, right, with Terror on the Prairie. I think this film is probably going to, I would imagine, more than deliver. And hopefully the Daily Wire will be able to boast its success. We'll see, but I think this film is going to be a treat to watch. I do. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.